Bow down before my psycho power.
Street Fighter Cup 11 has just ended, and one person walked away with $1 million. Before we even dive into the depths of this conversation, bro, all of these other fighting games, particularly Mortal Kombat and Tekken, needs to step it up. Harada once bragged a lot about how Bandai Namco is a bigger company than Capcom. And now is the time to show that, right? If it's a bigger company, then you should have no problem with putting up $1 million, really, rewarding the players for dedicating everything to the game. I just want to say that because we're waiting for the Tekken World Tour 2025 to be announced. We're waiting for them to, reveal all of the details. And we've been saying this for about 2-3 years now. But bro, put up the money. Put the money where your mouth is. You can't just walk around and say Bandai Namco is a bigger money, but then have a smaller prize pool, right? And then also you have the EWC, that's the Esports World Cup. I believe it's done in Saudi Arabia. That's also giving out $1 million. Yes, the Tekken World Tour is a glorious tournament. Yes, EVO is the most prestigious tournament. But when you talk about which tournament is rewarding the players the heaviest, Capcom Cup 11 and EWC. But also, with that being said, with this same tournament, the second place winner walked away with $100,000. Once again, that's like big money. To put emphasis on it, bro is only 15 years old, a Street Fighter prodigy. It is crazy. I also remember seeing a tweet from Punk a couple of days ago, like maybe a week ago, where he's talking about how he like dropped out of school. I think it was college or high school. I can't remember exactly, but he dropped out to pursue fighting games and turned it into a career. Even though fighting games is considered kind of this niche thing, you do have a lot of people finding great success and turning it into huge careers. And I'm happy that fighting games, which once again is like this niche thing, is at the point where it can do that, because that means more people, if they see the success, they will be interested in diving in, jumping in, and competing, commentating, content creating, all of it, right? Moving on to the next topic, you have a controversial situation that also took place at the Capcom Cup. And this revolves around Sajams and a commentator jammers. Now, let me start off by saying this. I think what Sajam has been doing is wonderful with the Sajam Slam. That is absolutely revolutionary. I'm surprised that idea wasn't baked sooner. That guy is bringing so many fresh eyes and so many fresh players into the FGC Street Fighter, like all of it, right? I think what he's doing there is incredible, but then also what he's doing like on his YouTube, on his Twitch, Twitter, all of it, from what I see, phenomenal. But with that being said, he had a little bit of a hot take about jammers on commentary. As you can see here, it is trending on Twitter. Sajam versus jammers, a debate on commentary etiquette in fighting game community. A controversy stirred within the fighting game community when Sajam, a well-known commentator, publicly critiqued Jammer's commentary at a recent event for using the phrase "god awful" to describe a player's move. This incident sparked a wider conversation about the norms and responsibilities of commentators. While some defended Sajam's right to offer criticism, arguing that commentators should face the same level of scrutiny as players, others often felt the approach lacked respect and should have been handled privately. The debate highlighted issues of respect, the nature of criticism, and the appropriateness of public versus private feedback. Although there's no confirmed resolution or public apology from Sajam, the discussion continues to influence how commentary is perceived and critiqued within the community. So whenever you see a summary like this from Twitter, this is basically the Gronk AI that Twitter has, right? Whenever you see a summary like this, you know a discussion is viral, it's loud, it's like there's tweets popping off, right? We'll talk about some of these, and because I think it's quite interesting. The clip that, from my understanding, there is two clips that went viral, but I was only able to find this clip. And in this clip, you can see basically, I'll set it up because it doesn't show the full gameplay. You have this match between Chun-Li and the Zangief, and I believe the Chun-Li player whiffed a dive kick, right? Whiffing dive kicks, whiffing attacks, and the Zangief punishes. And a commentator who's commentated match is like, oh, that whiff was god awful, right? So that's the setup.
Listen, I'm sorry. I gotta call it how I see it. That was god awful. That dive kick was not.
All right, you know what else is god awful? His fucking commentary, bro. I can't listen anymore. I can't. I gotta mute him. Sorry. I can't listen anymore, bro. I can't. Like, I can't. I just can't, bro. I'm sorry. I cannot listen anymore. It's not good. It's just not good. I can't. I gotta mute him.
So as you can see with this clip, what Sajam doesn't even say anything. Like, he's just like, I can't. It's not like he was like sliding the guy. It's not like he was talking trash about the guy. But a lot of people was rubbed the wrong way just by him muting the clip and saying that commentary was god awful. And this is what sparked the debate. Now, I do think it's kind of overblown, but with Sajam being this huge figure in the Street Fighter community, but also in just the FGC, people really took it a kind of way. What I thought was interesting about this whole thing is how players are comparing the commentary of jammers to that of like professional sports. You have this response here from Punk, who says, I don't think jammers said anything wrong on commentary. The FGC only place that doesn't allow bad plays to be called out, while other sports and esports have this all the time. I personally think this should be more common because not everything people do is always good. So Punk is on the side of the commentary. Like, if someone does something stupid, like, it should be called stupid. Maybe not stupid, but like, wow, that's crazy, right? And then someone responds with this clip here from the NBA, and this is exactly the point that people were making, right? So this is fourth quarter, a minute left. You can see the score difference. Listen to the commentators.
No.
Oh my goodness, Valentine!
No,
Whoa, no!
No.
That is not the shot at that moment.
That's a horrible shot.
And you can basically see many different types of clips like this on YouTube if you just search like NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, whatever sport it is. The commentators usually call it how it is. They really try to bring the commentary to life, and they really try to like connect with the audience and explain things to the audience. And the FGC should be trying to do the same thing. And there's a lot of things that the FGC does, and then when you compare it to like actual real sports, you're like, why are you guys being so harsh? Why are you guys being this? Why are you guys being that? At times I feel like the FGC is trying to be too esports. They're trying to be too commercialized. They're trying to be too proper. An example of what I mean by the FGC trying to be too esports is that whole idea of them trying to turn the losers bracket into the lower bracket. That was a thing that was like heavily pushed like 2 years ago, but then the players all like pushed back against that. Like, what is that? Lower bracket? We're afraid to call it the losers bracket. We're going to do higher bracket, lower bracket. That kind of stuff is just like really unnecessary. I think it kind of saps all of the fun and all of the spirit and also all of the personality. This is what I love about all of the different commentators, all of the different personalities. Like, the FGC has so much charisma and style, and we got to allow that to flourish. As time goes on, you start to see a lot of these FGC tournaments, Evo, combo breakers trying to be super esports, and they're really changing and losing a lot of identity. I do think a lot of things in the past were super toxic and should be left in the past, but what this commentator did here today, in my opinion, is no big deal. And also, I do agree with everyone who's saying, like, you know, for new audiences watching, it's important to call out things that, like, to explain the game in a way to like really emphasize, like, that move was a very bad move. This move was a great move. Now, Sajams did respond, and I'll read this tweet. It says, I quote tweet this to say, instead of making videos discussing the topic anymore, I just decided to message people involved and chat normally about the situation. Since anything I say will encourage and flame either direction, which is pointless. And I do think this is the proper step. And also, I do think this is how social media is. In social media, bro, you can't say nothing. You'll get flamed for saying anything. There will probably be people in the comment section flaming me for talking about this. Everyone's getting flamed. And I do think what he's doing is kind of like right here to just reach out to the people, make sure he knows hard feelings, make sure he didn't, no disrespect and whatnot, right? And try to solve it that way. He says, I've been commentating for over a decade and watched all the Capcom Cup top to bottom for 4 straight days. So maybe my perspective is different from yours. Either way, I don't want additional flame from for anybody tackling the subject and challenging craft. We all have our own takes, and that what makes it fun. I do think it's pretty interesting as well. Like, you're just streaming, you're just doing your thing, right? And then someone randomly clips your stream, and then you just see all of these different people responded to it. I think that is so fascinating how you can have one Twitch moment get clipped, put on Twitter, as in it ignites. I feel like we've seen that for Sajam, for the main man, for so many content creators. You can even step outside the FGC, and it's just crazy. Like, you have Speed Kicks here, you have Mike Hollow, you have like so many names. Everyone's having a take on this, and it's just so fascinating to see how clipping something and sharing it can just turn the conversation upside down.